Good morning. We're continuing in what we started in the beginning of this week, and we're learning the Dvar Malchut. The Dvar Malchut is talking about the creation and the Torah. The creation can be categorized as created by God with one word and by 10 words. The same thing, the Torah. The Torah can be categorized as 10 commandments and one commandment. Both of them are almost the same thing. The only difference is that the one is the world and the other is the Torah. The world is the creation, and the Torah is more the creator. But nevertheless, the world is created from God's 10 utterances. And these 10 utterances are broken down, and they regenerate to be 10 more and 10 more until we have all the diversity of this amazing diversity of this world, physical, spiritual, the angels, etc. All this. That's the 10 utterances. But it says that God could have created with one utterance, and the Rebbe says that in fact he did create it with one utterance. What's the one utterance? The fact that the world exists, the fact that there is a world, spiritual, physical, plant, animal, all that. It's just the fact that God is creating. That's the one. The miracle of existence. Just the fact that things exist. This is an amazing, unexplainable miracle. Right? The fact of the diversity, science explains that what they have, there's the evolution and whatever it is. So they have explanations for it. They have explanations. Okay, the explanations are wrong, but still they have explanations, right? There are explanations how one thing evolved from another, and that the world is trillions of years old, and so there's some sort of explanation. But that God creates the world, the existence of the world, there's no explanation. How it exists, what is the basic substance of reality? What is it? No matter what you say it is, so where did that thing come from? Where does consciousness come from? Where does energy? So the world is being created from nothing. This is totally out of the realm of science and philosophy and everything. This is just completely, in a way, it's even out of the realm of religion. Of the religion, right? Religion says you have to believe in some sort of a thing or whatever. You have to think about yourself. And here, Judaism says really everything is basically nothing. It's just a big miracle. So that's the one utterance. The world is an amazing miracle that's coming from nowhere, from nothing. It's coming. That's God. God is creating creation. That's the same thing with the Torah. The Torah has 10 commandments. The 10 commandments, that's how the Torah is relevant to every little detail in the world. But the one utterance of the Torah, that's the pure godliness which is in the Torah. The fact that God cares, the fact that God spoke to the Jews, just the fact, doesn't make any difference what he said. Right? If the Torah just had one word in it, or one picture or something in it that God gave to the Jewish people, that would have been enough of a miracle. Right? Just anything. The fact that God has 10 commandments and all these words in it, that's almost like secondary. The fact that he gave it, that God spoke, that's the oneness of God revealed in the Torah. That's even higher than the oneness of God revealed in the world. Okay, that's what the job of the Jewish people is, to reveal this oneness in the diversity of the world. This is especially stressed in the counting of the Omer in the month of Sivan, which the month of Sivan, that's going to be what? Not this week, but the coming week. That's what's called the third month. Sivan is the third month of the year. The first month of the the Jewish calendar has 12 months in it, but the first month in the Hebrew calendar is Nisan. Nisan, when the Jews got out of Egypt. That's the beginning of the months of the Jewish calendar, not the days. The days begin from Rosh Hashanah, but the months begin. Where it says on the third month, on this day, the Jews came into to the desert of Sinai. And this is in the 7th week, on the 3rd day. This is like the whole week already entered. This is the complete preparation for the giving of the Torah by means of counting the Omer. Okay, so what's going on? The Jewish people got out of Egypt. 7 weeks later, they received the Torah. God gave them a commandment to count each one of these days, 7 weeks. It comes out to be 49 days. The Torah was given on the 50th day. So in the month of Sivan, the Torah was given on the 6th day of Sivan. Which means when the month of Sivan comes in, which that's going to be the week after next, when the month of Sivan comes in, they're already in the 7th week. They're already in the month of 7th week. On the 3rd day of the 7th week, this is after they've already finished the 44 days of counting the Omer. 44 days are already finished. There's only 49 days, right? That in them is included the service of Sfirat Omer in refining the emotions of every human being, of the Jewish people, the emotions in your personality, and connecting them to the emotions of God. Because the 44 days, this is Yanika, this is immature. Again, the Jewish people got out of Egypt. That's like a baby, a fetus coming out of the womb of the mother. The birthday of the Jewish people is Passover. The birthday of the Jewish people is Passover. When they received the Torah was already maturity. They were maturity. It took them 49 days to become mature spiritually to receive the Torah. So the first 6 weeks, right? The first 6 weeks of counting the Omer. So 7 times 6, 42, right? So the first 42 days, and that's just still in infancy, still immature. When you come into the month of Sivan, that's 6 days before the giving of the Torah. On the 3rd day of that week, that's 44 days. Those 44 days, it's still immature. Just like, for instance, like milk. Milk nourishes and causes to grow the limbs of the newborn child. So also the Jewish people, they got out of Egypt, they were like newborn children. The counting the Sfirat Omer, that's like milk of the mother. Where does the milk of the mother come from? It comes from the breast. The breasts are in the heart. It says that man is unlike animals, that human babies nurture from the place of understanding. The heart is the place of understanding. Animals nurture from the place of excrement, from the bottom. So the time that the Jewish people, from the time of the Jewish people went out of Egypt, that they were babies, so they fed from the milk of their mother, which is God. This is drawing down intellect, bina, understanding, into the Jewish people. The first 42 days are like blood. Dam is mem dalet. This says that milk becomes blood. The blood becomes milk. It says the blood of the mother becomes the milk of the child. That's why women have to eat well in order to nurse their children. This is the preparation for eating bread. Bread, the Torah is called bread on the holiday of Shavuot. The holiday of Shavuot is the only time in the temple they could bring chometz. They bring 2 loaves of wheat into the holiday of chometz. That represents the bread is called chita. Chita is the numerical value of 22, which 22 is the 22 letters of the alphabet. And since, says the Rebbe, that we're coming into the month of Sivan. In the month of Sivan, we've already finished 44 days of the counting of the Omer. So we've finished the main refinement of our emotions, bring milk, understanding into our infinite personality, our infinitely small personality, infantile personalities. Excuse me. This is by means of the revelation of light, that it could be divided into the different emotions. Again, when we do Sfirat Omer, you're supposed to think about God, and you're supposed to think about God's emotions, how they correspond to ours, and that refines us. This makes us ready, ready and prepared to receive the light of the 50th day. With the 50th day, this is above any of the divisions of the 49. The 50th day, that's when we received the Torah. We received Maimer Echad. We received God speaking to the Jews. That's the one utterance of the Torah. By means of what? First of all, we had to connect ourselves to God on the first day of the month, Sivan. Miut Lavana, that's when the moon becomes 0, the beginning of the month. So we're talking about next month, and the 6th day of the month, Sivan, that's when the Torah was given. In order to do that, we had to pass through all the main 49 days, counting the Omer, and one of those days is the beginning of the month of Sivan. What's the beginning of every month? It comes from nothing. The moon becomes nothing, and as soon as the first sliver appears, that's the birth of the new month. That shows a completion of, prepares us for a total revelation of God and giving of the Torah B'yom Hazeh on the 50th day. This is something like the revelation of Lag BaOmer. This is something like the revelation of Lag BaOmer, which Lag BaOmer is Hod Shebahod. And this is the end and the completion of all of the Sfirot, the main Sfirot. This is called the body. Hod Shebahod, we explained this last week. I'm sorry, this. From this level of Hod Shebahod, which is above and below, after Hod Shebahod, this is finishing the body. But the main emotions are Hod Shebahod. Okay, how does this work? Just we don't jump ahead. We talked about this last week, but we're made in the image of God. That's what it says in the Torah. God wants us to reveal this image. The way we reveal the image of God is by using our free will properly. In order to use our free will properly, we have to know what to choose between. So you have to think about what is God? What is the Torah? What are the Jewish people? What is reality? What is the world? What are commandments? Think. This thought improves our emotions. It's very possible that a person can think, come to all sorts of conclusions, even write books about it, and not change his personality at all. He still loses his temper. He still has big lusts. He still has big desires. He's still lazy. He still has bad temper, everything. all the bad. The idea is to take your wonderful ideas that you have and bring them down into your day-to-day life. That's not so easy. It's much easier to work up a plan with all the wisdom you have and lecture to other people. That's also not easy. You have to figure out a plan that's workable, that's viable, that answers people's questions, but nevertheless, fix up other people. When it comes to fixing yourself up, that's a whole different business. That's a whole different business. That's already not intellect. Excuse me 1 second. This is shining like my eye. That's the idea of Sfirat Omer, taking these wonderful ideas and bringing it down to the 7 aspects of our emotions. Okay, but if you look at the emotions, if you look how they're explained, you'll see that really only the top 5 are really emotions, and the bottom 2 are going outward. Yesod and Malchut go out. And the top 5, which are Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod, those are already internal. That's more emotions of ours. That's us. Yesod and Malchut, how it's explained, that's going out already. That's going out of the body. So if so, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod, that's the body. That's the 5, right? That's the 5. The lowest aspect of Hod, each one of these has 7 in it. The lowest aspect of Hod also has 7 aspects. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Netzach, Hod. So the lowest aspect of Hod is Hod. So therefore, the lowest aspect of the inner emotions, that's Hod Shebahod. That's Lag BaOmer. That's what Rebbe Shimon. That's what Rebbe Shimon revealed the secrets of the Torah. It says from therefore there is revealed an upper light of God, which is above. I'm sorry. Lag BaOmer. This already fixes up the inner emotions. The inner emotions. And from the inner emotions, Hod Shebahod, which that's Rebbe Shimon fixed up the inside of the Jews, then you start going outward. Outward. Therefore, there has to shine a higher light, which is higher than all of the emotions. Going outside of yourself to really bring your godliness into your action, into your speech, into the world. Listen, a lot of times a person can work on himself and he fixes up his emotions, he fixes up his personality, that he becomes like a good salesman, right? How to win friends and influence people. Yeah, but you become a good salesman. You never get angry. You never have lust. You never get caught. You want to be a politician. You can't run after your desires. You can't do this. You're a politician. But when he goes home and when he's on his own and when he has when he does not have a selfish carrot hanging in front of him, he doesn't have a selfish, then all of a sudden he doesn't control himself. In other words, he's not doing anything for God. He's doing everything for himself. So you can fix up your inner emotions also for yourself. And you can fix up your inner emotions according to Kabbalah, of only for yourself. The idea is to fix yourself up for Hashem only. Not even to think about going to heaven. To do that is not so easy. But when does it become revealed? When you go into the world. That's why a lot of people like to be hermits. Because a hermit, he never has any challenges. No one ever makes him mad. He never has any desires. He never has nothing. He sits by himself as a hermit. Says, okay, that's very nice. If you have a bad personality, that's one way of, putting yourself into self-imposed prison. But that's not the way man is supposed to be. Man is supposed to be in the world and to do positive things in the world. And if the world disturbs you, so work on yourself. Well, that's difficult. Going into the world, that's Yesod and Malchut. That's going into the world. So by means of, first of all, having the surrender of Hod, Shebahod, that's Rebbe Shimon, then afterwards there can be revealed the inside of the Torah. Inside of the Torah. But in order to reveal it outside, that has to be even a higher level of revelation. That's the giving of the physical Torah. That was it. And we can also add on that that's the connection of the beginning, the first day of Sivan to the giving of the Torah in Sfirat Omer, that this is the first day of Sivan is the 45th day of the counting of the Omer. This is the number 45, Ma. This is the numerical value of man. This is the letters of Aleph, Dam. Dam. Aleph is the oneness of God revealed in our blood. Al-Piyah, you do it like it's known, that the Torah is compared also to blood, that it draws life into all of the man and also to the world. And then that's when it reveals the godliness of the world, the godliness in the world. This is the Torah. The Torah is like blood, revealing that. Then it's called Adam. Zot Torot Adam. This is the law of Adam. Dam, the Torah, with an addition of Aleph, the letter Aleph. We can say that this blood, which spreads out the nimshach in all the limbs of the body, this hints at the blood. That's like God's 10 utterances, how it's relevant to the body, and also the 10 words of the Torah, which is divided into all these different laws. And Adam, Aleph Dam, which that's the numerical value of 45, which that's the first day of Sivan, is the 45th day of the Omer. Aleph Dam. This hints at drawing the one utterance of God and the one utterance of God in the Torah, which is above any division, into the laws of the Torah. Like it says, one God spoke, and from that come all of the laws of the Torah. And how do you get to this oneness of God? That means that, first of all, surrendering yourself to God in prayer. Okay, so what do we learn over here? What do we learn? The whole purpose of the Torah and the whole purpose of creation is to reveal the Creator and the creation. And that already God started. It's already possible. God already opened the door. How did he open the door? By creating the world with 10 utterances and also with one utterance. And he then gave the Torah in the world, which that's what we're going to be celebrating the giving of the Torah. The Torah is 10 utterances, the Asar Divrot, and also the one utterance that God himself spoke. So all of this is all in the world, and the world is already ready for it. We just have to reveal it. That's the point. We have to use our free will in order to reveal this. Let's make a short pause over here, and I'll come right back. 1 minute. I can't do it. Okay.